What's going on, guys? This is Bobby Douglas. Welcome to another 2020 NBA Draft Prospect full game video breakdown. And today we're going to be taking a look at French point guard Abdoulaye N'Doye. Obviously, we know him from Cholet, where he spent the last 4 seasons, I believe, with them. And listen, 22-year-old, 6'7" point guard. I have him as an early to mid second round pick in this year's draft. I really like his positional size at 6'7". Can defend probably 1 through 3 in the NBA if he gets a little bit more disciplined. Has shown a lot of promise in his offensive game and development, especially this past season at Cholet, where he averaged around 10 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists on 52% shooting and 44% from 3. So there are a lot of things to like about N'Doye. So I'm excited to get into this game with you guys. This game is from 2018, where N'Doye scores 19 points, has 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 turnover in 25 minutes before fouling out with around a minute to play in a Cholet victory over Portel, I think it's how you pronounce it. So I'm excited to get into it with you guys, and let's get right to it. N'Doye's going to be in the red. He's going to be number 11, so I'm going to circle him with my mouse right here. The lighting's a little bit bad in this video, so I apologize for that, but it's the best thing I could find, and let's get right to it. So again, he's going to start off on the ball right here, and we'll watch him play. And so again, he has pretty long arms, again, really awesome functional height. And so I really do enjoy watching him play. Just when I was doing my initial big board back in, I want to say mid-May, right? So when I was doing my initial big board in mid-May, I was going through all these guys, just watching tape. And N'Doye was one of the few players where I was very, very just impressed. And he really just, his talent and ability really just popped off the screen for me. And right there, speaking of screen, he kind of got beat off that screen. That's one thing he needs to work on defensively. I do think he tends to get put in quicksand a little bit too often. Doesn't really move his feet as well as you would hope. But, you know, he was one of those guys where his talent and his ability really just kind of amazed me. You know, it was a guy where he was immediately put into my top 60 after watching around 10 minutes of him. And so I'm probably higher on him than most, even though my rankings are probably pretty consistent compared to most other people. And I think I have him 42nd on my top 100 right now. So again, that middle to second round area. Right there, we saw him kind of get lost off the ball. Again, doesn't really have the greatest rotations in terms of his energy and engagement. He was kind of spinning around. And so there are things that he needs to work on, obviously. And at 22, you do worry about that a little bit more than some of the others who are younger than him. Right there, he got hung up on that screen again. Missed shot, but again, he's really slow coming out of screens at times. But again, that positional size, I think, will carry him a long way for NBA evaluators. And again, he's going to be on the ball right here. Let's see how he moves. And again, you could just see it's almost like he's a step slow at every single juncture. And right there, he shows a little bit of frustration. I think that was him slamming the ball. But we'll skip these free throws. And so, listen, there are a lot of things that you could say worry you about N'Doye, but to me, just the 6'7" point guard, it's hard for me to get over that. I really just like that size, and I do think he has a pretty solid repertoire as a shooter. He really made a ton of strides in that department. This was the first year where he really started shooting the ball on an efficient clip. And so, again, it was just a matter of time. He's been playing professional basketball for over 4 years now, so you know, I tend to be higher on him than most, I would say. But again, the way the rankings shake out, I'm probably in the same ballpark as most of these guys. But again, I mentioned earlier, 44% from 3. Granted, I was on around 1 attempt per game. But to me, I think anybody who can shoot 44, and we'll see him right there, and he's going to bury that one right there. Again, you can see the shot. It's pretty quick, pretty easy. Tends to look a little bit off balance. We saw that right foot kind of get a little loose right there, but overall, I do think it's a pretty sweet stroke. We saw right there. It's really fluid. Starts a little bit low for my liking, but I do think he could be a guy who's a catch and shoot. And the thing with N'Doye is that a lot of these guys only have one avenue to success. They can only play one position, right? N'Doye can play point guard. He can play shooting guard. He can play small forward in the NBA because of that size. And listen, the more things that you can do in the NBA, the better of a chance you have at sticking in the league. So that's also another reason why I like him compared to some of these other second-round guys and other point guards where we see, even though he just gets beat defensively right there again. And we'll see. Let's see. He's going to get the ball right here. He's going to push it. Again, good job just using that dribble to get a full head of steam. could be a hockey assist right here, and it won't be, but I like the vision. And so I'm thinking, so he's mainly guarding point guards and smaller players for Cholet due to his position, but I do think if you put him on an NBA wing and if he gets stronger, I think you got to make him more of a wing defender than a guard defender, just because he doesn't really show that elite level lateral quickness needed to guard on the perimeter in the NBA. Because we've seen 3 or 4 times already him just get burned on the top of the key, just can't even stay in front of his man. So here he's on help, and he's going to get the ball back right here. That time did a nice job staying in front, getting around that screen, and again, good job of knowing his angles right there. Was kind of shading his man towards the sideline, which is like what you like to see. Right there, a nice feed, and let's see if they bury it for him. They don't. And again, he can be loose with his dribble at times. He's a pretty erratic player at times. There are a lot of things to be concerned about with N'Doye. And obviously, when you're taking a flyer on a second-round guy, there's always a chance that they're not going to hit. But with N'Doye, I just think that he's so versatile offensively with his size and his ball handling ability that it does give him a lot more opportunities to succeed in the NBA at some level, right? So that whether that be a wing defender off the bench, whether that be a secondary distributor in pick and roll, things like that, I do think the more things you can do well, the better of a chance you have at sticking in the NBA. So with N'Doye, he can do so many things at a high level, or a high-ish level, that I would rate him as one of my better second-round prospects. Here he's going to get back on defense right here, and here he is on the ball. And again, you can see just kind of lazy on defense right there. Doesn't really move his feet well. Has not looked good defensively thus far, and here he is leading the break for Cholet. But his feet just get tangled up if they even move at all. And so I want to say, I almost want to blame it on his effort and just maybe a lack of motor, but it just doesn't look very fluid when he moves at all. Let's see if he hits this 3 again. Yeah, another really nice stroke. Again, you can see the rotation on the ball because it's a multicolored ball. Perfect spin. Again, the shot is really fluid. So that's what I mean. So he doesn't really need the ball in his hands compared to a guy like Leandro Bolmaro, who we looked at earlier, where he's pretty ineffective without the ball in his hands. N'Doye can do a lot of things. Without the ball in his hands. He can spot up for 3 and shoot it at a better clip than Bolmaro at this stage in his development. I understand if you like Bolmaro better long term, but right now I think N'Doye's a better player. And so just that versatility I do think matters in the NBA, especially in this age of NBA basketball. So I will skip these free throws. Oh no, it's no free throws, but so just watch this. And also, if you are a major draft buff, you're going to see number 3 for Cholet is a young Killian Hayes, who obviously we've done a video about and who I currently have as my number 4 prospect in this draft. Yeah, he came off the bench for this Cholet team before moving to Ulm this past season, where he started and played very well. So a lot of the time, N'Doye and Hayes will be alternating in terms of playing time. You're not going to see them a whole lot together. But right now they are in together, and here he is. And so right here, again, you can just see that length. N'Doye does get into passing lanes a little bit. And again, you can see, that's why I want to chalk it up as an effort thing. Right there, you saw the awesome steal, and he's going to finish with the dunk. So again, he has that length, and, he can pick people's pockets, things like that. And right there, you saw him move his feet pretty well. So I hope it's more of an effort thing than just getting beat constantly and not having the lateral quickness thing. But it doesn't look very encouraging, but when he does turn it on, he does make some pretty solid defensive plays that we saw right there, just picking the guy's pocket and finishing for the dunk. And again, yeah, I remember this game is from 2018. I couldn't find any full Cholet games from this past season, so I just picked the best one that I could find from last year. And right there, bad turnover for N'Doye. Again, just gave up his dribble too early, didn't really make a right decision, and yeah, that's just tough. And so again, he can be a little bit erratic, tends to overthink, not even overthink, maybe underthink Makes too rash of the decision, as we saw right there with that turnover on the pass intended for Killian Hayes. But right there, I think he got called for a foul. I'm not really sure about that call. But regardless, he's out for a really long time right now because this broadcast just runs straight through from beginning to end of the game. Like, there's no commercial cuts or anything like that. So I'm going to skip ahead around 22 minutes to 49. Let me get this right. 49:57 when he comes back in. So I'll do that right now. And so here he is. So you can see it's the second quarter right now, 5 minutes and 11 seconds, and you can see him on the ball picking up full court. And he is with Hayes again right now as well. So it looks like they're doing a little bit of a matchup zone. You can see Hayes is kind of playing off the ball, kind of playing that perimeter sweeper, and N'Doye's on the weak side, kind of covering two men. Right there, that's not really on him. I get that. He has to cover for the two weak side guys, so that cutter to the middle probably should have been picked up by somebody in the paint. We got a foul or something here, so I'll just... And here we go. So again, right now he has 8 points, has played pretty well offensively. And again, if he can knock down that three, there's a spot for him in the NBA. You know, because he is a guy who can create off the dribble a little bit. He can pass really well, so it does offer a lot of things if he can really get that shot honed down. Right there we see a three, not from N'Doye, but just a three for Cholet. So again, weak side, just not really good with his head turns and hip turns. Tends to react slowly, and it kind of causes him to lose vision a little bit. And you can see he's primarily playing off the ball, so this is actually a good game to showcase his versatility because you could have Killian Hayes on the ball right now and then N'Doye off of it. And again, at 6'7", I think probably playing off the ball might be a little bit better suited for him in the NBA. But if you need him to run a second unit offense, you can totally do that as well. And again, the amount of roles this guy can fill is just incredible. So, but you see it right there again, just lazy defense. So he really needs to work on his just overall effort and intensity on defense. He tends to sag off guys with the ball. And right there, he went under that screen. He didn't even bother to recover, and it was just an easy lay-in for Portel. So, again, just the effort combined with, like, I don't think he has great footwork or great foot speed. But I don't think he's a lost cause just because of his physicality. A little bit of buffering right there, but he got back. So if he just showcases consistent effort, I think he could be a decent defender. But right now, we've just seen little to no willingness to defend. So that's definitely concerning. Trying to kick it right there. And so, yeah, Cholet's in a zone right now, you can see, because N'Doye just switched it. And maybe they were in a man, it was just a miscommunication. I'm not really sure. But, again, N'Doye's man ended up hitting the three if they were in man. But, I mean, it looked like there was a switch gone wrong or something, or they were in a zone that somebody didn't cover. And you can see him in the corner right now. He's going to come along the baseline. And here he is with the ball. Looks like we got a foul here. So here's Killian Hayes looking for something, can't really find anything, managed to get that pass in there, but we got a foul here, so I will skip ahead for these free throws. And here we go. And the problem with N'Doye is he's not at the age where you could probably stick him in the G League. He is 22 years old, and usually people like to fill up their G League slots with younger players. And so you're drafting him to really just have him contribute right away. And he's going to really need to turn around his effort defensively, I think, in order to do that. You know, something to keep in mind. Here he is coming off a pin down, and he's with the ball right here. Again, that's a really nice play off of a pick and roll. And again, it's a missed shot. But that's the thing you can do with N'Doye. You can run him off the wing, off of a pin down. And he can secondarily distribute. But right there, again, you just see it looks like he's just too over-reliant on that length. He tries to get cheap steals instead of moving his feet and staying in front of guys. Right there, there's no excuse for that Le Portel player to go from the three-point line right to the basket when N'Doye was right in the middle of the lane. So again, that really can't happen, and I'm not really sure if it's got to be a combination of his lack of overall foot quickness and just his lack of effort. And I'm almost hoping it's lack of effort more than anything, just because if it's lack of quickness, he's going to get burnt in the NBA constantly, and I don't think he can last. So here he is with the ball. See what they do. Nothing really going on there. I was hoping they would run a pick and roll right there. Nothing really happened, though. We got a foul here, so I'll skip these free throws. So they just switched that screen, so that's not a bad play from N'Doye. And here he is in the post. And again, so right here he actually did a pretty nice job staying in front and staying low, staying disciplined too. And so it makes me think that he's probably more suited to guard wings in the NBA than he is to guard smaller players, because he's been consistently burned this game just guarding smaller players. He can't even stay in front of them. You know, if you put him in front of wings, I do think he has a better chance at being defensively successful. And we saw right there, he did hold his own in the post for a brief moment there, too. So, again, you know, usually a guy like N'Doye, if he were 6'3", I wouldn't really bet on him. But he is 6'7", so he does have that going for him. And sometimes that's all you need. So he's calling out a set right here. And here's N'Doye with the three, and he's going to miss that one. But again, the shot form is consistent. A little bit odd release just because it starts off pretty low. But up top, it looks really pretty. Maybe needs a little bit more bend of the knee down low. But overall, I do enjoy the form. And I think that's fine. It looks like a little bit more of a set shot, though. I'd like to see him get a little bit more elevation on it in terms of his jump. But overall, I do think it's a viable NBA release. That is not a viable NBA release, by the way. I don't know who that is for Le Portel, but that looked gross. I want to see this again. Ew. What is that? That's disgusting. And here's N'Doye to end this first half here. He's going to just do a simple advanced pass and see if anything happens. Hey, they hit a three, so... And this will end the first half. So I'll pause the video here. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously, I'll be back with the second half of this game as soon as this one is finished uploading. I think we learned a lot about N'Doye. You know, defensively, he did not look encouraging, but I do think he did show some signs of encouragement offensively. He hit 2 threes, had that dunk off of his steal. And so, listen, you're really just kind of banking on him turning into something. Again, this is a second-round guy, so obviously they're not all going to hit. But with N'Doye, I do just enjoy his positional flexibility. He can play 1 through 3 on both ends, so I do enjoy that. And yeah, so I will see you guys for the second half, and thanks for watching. Bye.